we as men early on learn how to size each other up.
Oh,
you know what I'm
sure.
saying, right?
Yeah.
They're like, is this person a threat?
Yeah.
Are they a homie? Could I take advantage of this situation? Subconsciously.
Oh, for
And
sure.
so I'm seeing that growing up. Masculinity for a lot of us was us teaching and learning from each other. You learn very quickly where to go, where not to go.
Right.
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Some of that is communicated verbally to you, and some of that you have to learn through trial and error, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right? Like what you're seeing other homies doing shit that you know is not appropriate.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it was that too, like us wanting to be cool, wanting to emulate what we saw
Right.
in the community, and also knowing what could happen if you did emulate it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you 6 feet under, we wound up in jail. You know, so a lot of homies I grew up with, they either left the ex, myself included, unfortunately. They left the ex either through like moving, finding a job, relocating, or they just not here anymore.
Right.
To tell the stories. Or they're still there and they're still having to deal with a lot of the ways we still think about masculinity in the community, which is, again, like machismo, like I'm better than you, I'm stronger than you, as opposed to, I think, genuine community, which I think a lot of us are actually seeking.
Yeah.
Intuition is not a woman's trait. It's a human trait.
Yeah.
It's a thing that we develop. And like, we don't often think of Black men as having intuition.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you walk into any neighborhood and you're like, yo, something feels,
Bro.
that's intuition. That's like your body and spirit telling you like, nah, something don't feel right here.
Right. I'm here with you.
You know, and so when I say that to say, you created a safe space. And I think for a lot of us, performative masculinity means I have to size you up, and B, I have to be prepared to defend my masculinity. And that might either be physically or verbally, right? So I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna lean into the things that I think are desirable, right? I might talk about how much money I got. I might talk about my career. So I don't like when people ask me what I do. It's like my least favorite question in the world, because it's like it doesn't allow room for the person to just be a human without all the other cachet and attachments that we link in the labels, bro. Like I'm an influencer or blah, blah, like I don't care about none of that.
Right.
And I think performative masculinity leans into that as a way to highlight how worthy we are, right? As opposed to just being a human. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up around that. Like grew up around the dude with the sob and like the big donkey chain and all that.
Yeah.
And like so much of that is wanting to appear like we have it all together. And also too, we felt like it was attractive. And it took a while for me to kind of remove myself from that and recognize like, I want to be able to be a safe space for brothers. I want brothers to feel like they're vulnerable. Like you don't gotta be hard all the time.
Yeah.
And also too, you get to be you just get to be present.
Right.
So if you're feeling sad today, you get to express that. You also get to unpack the layers of sadness and anxiety and nervousness and being like, yo, I'm scared about this situation. I'm unsure about the situation.
Right.
Performative masculinity doesn't allow us to be free, and it doesn't also allow us to speak our truth.
Right.
You know, when we don't know how to handle shame at all. Like shame is probably like, now that we're talking, I think about how often shame leads us. Like if I don't want to be ashamed of like the sneakers I'm wearing or the clothes I'm got, so I'm gonna do things to fix that. Don't shame me in front of somebody else, because now I gotta fix that too. You know, like there's all these ways because we're not dealing with, you know?
Bruh, shame is real. Yo,
bruh, I feel like there's so much.
Bro, that's great. We make so many decisions based off of shame.
Bruh, street politics are dictated by shame. Like so much of it, like you've embarrassed me, you've made me ashamed of this, that, and the third, like me not having enough. You have more than like, and jealousy. Like it's all these things that we don't want to deal with. And so we show up in different way. And a lot of that is the performative masculinity shit, where it's like, I gotta harm something. When I think about, because what we do is we do a lot of comparative analysis, right? We'll go, well, back in the day, this is what men did. And I'm like, the men had different toolboxes. Like if Black men had more access to the language of I'm feeling hurt, I'm feeling down, whatever, I think we'd have a different generation of Black men.
You would.
And we can't, what we'll do, and like I've seen this happen on both the men's side and the women's side, you know, where it's like we'll lean into these tropes of, well, men used to do this, like men used to be like, nah, that men have been hurting. This is not a new phenomenon. This is that we have language for it now.
Right.
We have access to tools to be able to dissect, to discuss, to talk through things. And like the men back in the day weren't talkers, they were doers. my father wasn't a talker. My father was also a paranoid schizophrenic who fought in the Vietnam War, who suffered from childhood trauma. You feel me?
Right,
Like,
right.
it wasn't like he wasn't talking because he didn't have a lot to say. My father was an emotional being who didn't have space. And so,
Don't tell these people all I need is respect, bro. I need to be loved, bro.
And
I need to be loved, bro.
And I think too, I think there's a level of lying in that, because it's not, no one can operate just off of that.
Yo, come on, bro.
No one can. But I think there's this false narrative of, like, again, when we talk about performative masculinity, it's like, this is all I need.
Yeah.
I just need you to fuck me, shut up, and da-da-da. It's like, bro, actually, no, you don't. Like, there's a part of you that is okay with her playing 2K with you. Like, you can, like, you want to feel joy.
Right.
You don't know how to.
Right.
Now, you can say that, but you can't say that, because then again, it's like the embarrassment and the shame of having to show up in a way that is not in alignment with what we deem to be masculine. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we do a whole lot of other shit to navigate away from that.
Right. Bro, you know what's so interesting about when you talk about, like, the financial conversations that I'm seeing? Like, bro, a lot of these dudes that do a lot of that stuff, bro, like, I've sat down with some of them and I'm like, bro, like, y'all are slaves to this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you left one thing, whether it be a 9 to 5 or whatever it was that you were making income with, to then go and still be a slave to another thing. You're still a slave to money. You know what I'm saying? You don't spend time with your family. All you do is work. You don't really talk to your kids like that. You're not there. You're not present with them. You're not present with your shorty or whoever it is. You got a fractured relationship there, but you got a bunch of bread. Do I really want to take advice from this? Nah, come on, let's be real. Do I really want to take advice from this man that could make me a millionaire, but I gotta sacrifice everything to get there?
And that's you see, bro, again, nailing it. Like, cause that's the thing. We're told that that's the sacrifice you have to make.
No, I refuse, bro. I refuse. I tell people that on the platform all the time. I refuse. I am not doing this to sacrifice my family. The moment that starts to happen, hey guys, this is our last episode. Wrapping it up. This is the finale.
Put the
We're
mic
gonna
down.
close it. Listen, we're closing it down, baby, because this is coming. No, bro. I refuse, bro. We only have a limited time on. This is the way we have a limited time on this earth. I refuse to make my entire life about getting money.
We predispose that the world is harsh, so we need to harden our boys. I'm like, no, we need to soften the world. Like, my practice is not about blaming the people, it's about blaming the system. So I can't keep focusing on the people. I need to focus on dismantling the system that creates the society that forces boys to not be soft, to not be vulnerable, to not be loving. Then, like, and having to reinforce this idea that softness is love. Softness is also masculine. You know what I'm saying? And, like, if we're talking about the divine masculine, the divine feminine, we carry both of those.
I was just talking to my mans about this, because he's going through some stuff, and I was telling him, bro, like, when do you take time for yourself? He was talking to me about your son and your girl, like, and I understand that, bro, but it's like, bro, when are you doing stuff for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, when are you, like, bro? He literally, bro, I landed today, I hit him up, and I'm like, yo, bro, can you come pick me up from the airport? He said, bro, I work, but I'm free between 10 and 1. I said, oh, perfect, I land at 10. He made the time, came and picked me up. I said to him after he dropped me off, I said, bro, the same way you dropped everything to come pick me up from 10 to 1, you gotta learn to do that for yourself, bro.
It's a word.